Hello, it's Janet here with Cooking, Cutting Up, and Keeping It Real. I am sitting in Ottawa, Canada today. Lisa's in North Carolina and has another North Carolinian as her guest, Kim Anderson Reid, and she's got great stories to tell. And we want to see her pottery and hear all about the encounter between Lisa and Kim and how to reach out to her if you're interested in anything that she creates. So I'm going to turn it over to Lisa right now. Go ahead, Lisa.
Kim, we didn't have enough time together when we just kind of breezed by one
Mm.
at the hardware store that morning. But I was so taken by your creativity and your artwork. First off, before we forget, tell me how the viewers can get in touch with you if they're interested in purchasing some of your work.
Okay. Well, I was trying my best to get my Etsy store back up. I had one during COVID, then I got cancer and I gave up a lot of things for a couple, but I'm good now. So I tried to get the Etsy store open. They locked me out. I have no idea why. My daughter's here going to help me with that, but I have a little sign here that
Hold that up.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Blue Door Studio 3 at gmail.com. Perfect.
Yes. Yep. That right there. That's the best way right now. But
I would love to come back to Wilkes County at some point and visit your studio.
Okay. We'd love to have you.
Tell us your story. How did you get started
Mm.
and what inspired you to do pottery like this?
Well, my daughter, who is going to have a baby in January.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, she's having a little girl. So, we'll have to hook them up one day.
Mhm.
Well, I should say, when I was a little girl, my aunt and uncle excavated their basement and they had a red dirt pile in their backyard, and I was drawn to it like a moth to a flame. I love playing in that dirt. And my little Aunt Grace takes all the credit for me being a potter because she said she provided. So when Sailor, my daughter, went to Montessori, I would write her little notes like this one that says, let me get rid of that banner so I can see me and see how I signed it. He could draw that.
Right.
So that's how we signed our names. And she knew it was me. I'd write lipstick on the mirror in the mornings and she would know. So when she graduated high school, I wanted to make a faceplate. I had seen them somewhere and I enrolled at Wilkes Art Gallery. And this is what I made.
Oh my goodness, isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Keep talking. My computer's going
right
ahead. I'm grabbing my cord.
So when I did this, I thought this is what I want to do forever and ever. I also learned that's hand building, and I also learned how to use a wheel, but I got bored with the wheel. All it does is going around and around. And my love is to take something very unusual, I get an idea, and then I see if I can create it. For instance, this Birkenstock.
Oh my God.
You can actually put it on your foot.
I love it.
I taught a middle school class, and the kids brought their shoes, and we made them. One girl made a cowboy boot, little girl made her baby shoes, a soccer cleat. So that's why. Anyway, that started it. When I found out I could make a shoe, I thought, you can do anything. I'm going to show you one more piece, and then we'll go to Blue Door houses. This is my chainsaw.
Oh my gosh.
My family, the men in my family cut timber. And that's my Thanksgiving centerpiece.
Oh, how cute.
Thankful for that job that they did because it provided for our family. So,
right.
But I was sitting in my hand build class one day. I still take the same Monday night class. I've been taking it for about 10 years now at Wilkes Art Gallery. And I had scraps laying in front of me. And my teacher, Gilda Ada, walked behind me and she said, make something out of that. Just those scraps. And the first thing I saw was a long piece of flat clay, and it had a tip. And I thought, that looks like a house. Like you could make a. So I started building this. I'm gonna tip it down just a little bit. This is the
Oh, how
very
cute.
first. Can y'all see that well?
We can.
Is it very dark?
No, it's good.
Okay. Right here is the original piece. You can see that tip going up. And everything on it, besides the chimney, was pieces I had laying in front of me. Now I cut these pieces, but I did not slab out any more clay. I used what I had in front of me, and that's the first blue door house right there.
Oh, how cute is
That's
that?
beautiful.
So the chimney works. You can put a flower in here. Now, this is called a frog. A frog was back before Victorian times, and it's anything that helps you arrange flowers.
Mhm.
So I made the roof a frog. So I call them blue door houses because the door's blue. That's the name of my studio, Blue Door Studio. And these things caught on. I was like, okay, but I just thought it was like really just a little cute. Now,
It's whimsical and comical and bright
yeah.
and just lifts your spirits.
I love the one behind you that has flowers in it. How cute is that?
This is my daughter's. She loaned that to us today.
Isn't that cute?
You can see, now my point with showing you this, I personalized this one. It's got her house number.
Oh, nice.
This is their first home. And again, this is sort of the signature. I put little windows, or just whatever I see laying in front of me.
You are so
Try to
talented.
use that. That's my challenge, is use what's in front of you. I'm going to show you one more. A friend of mine has a horse, and she wanted a horse. Lisa's got Cookie.
I do.
Hanging out of hers. And this has just got a little horse. It's got a little red. Does yours have a red bench in front? It does, don't it?
Yes, it does.
It does. So my thing with clay is that, well, I need to say this. My prayer in the morning is praying for knowledge of his will for me and the power to carry it out. And that's it. If I'm in his will, then I'm good. And I go in the pottery studio and I let the clay really be my guide. I get it in my hands and I start working, and I see what the clay says to me. And I believe that everybody, I have people say, I teach clay too, and I have people say, I have no creativity. I say, that's not true. You have to have creativity because you were made by the Creator in his image. So you have to have creativity. I'm not in the picture, am I? The
leaf is beautiful too.
So one day I was making a ball, and I kept messing, and it started having a body. And so I put a head on her and a little daisy chain necklace and holes in her, and she became the first blue door chicken.
Oh, isn't that cute?
That is a frog. And all these things that I'm showing you are for sale. She's not for sale, my blue door house, of course, but just like them. I make them just like them. And anything anybody sees, they can email me there and say and I'll share what I do have until I get Etsy going. And more importantly, if they have an idea, if they want something made, and pass it on to me. If they want a blue door house with a turtle, if they live at the beach, some people have asked for a turtle, different things like that. I've made donkeys, chickens, goats, turtles, or, whatever, like with the shoe. I'm going to be having this Christmas. This is part of the snowman village.
Oh, isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Oh,
now I had a mama and a daddy that went with him, but they're at somebody else's home right now. But I'll have those trees. I'll have those, And this is my newest frog. Now, if I'm moving too fast or doing something wrong, y'all tell me.
You're doing great. Oh, isn't that cute?
This is really, will you hand me one empty, please? This is just a simple, it has a, yeah, thank you. These tubes have holes in the bottom that feed water. You just put the water in the well, and then it feeds the water up in through here. And all you have to do is put the flowers in it.
How
That's it.
nice.
Just put the flowers in it. And I think this is a cobalt blue. I think this Christmas with some red berries in that thing and some green tree, like from your tree bough, that'll be beautiful. That's the newest thing that I'm making right now.
Very pretty. Very pretty.
Plus, I make jingle bells.
Oh,
play.
cute. So, Kim, how did you get started? What's your story?
Started in the clay. Is that what you're saying? In the clay?
Yeah, how'd you start?
When I made that plate, that face plate, I went, oh, this is it. So I took lessons probably, well, I've been in the same Monday night. You've heard of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants?
Yes.
Sisterhood of Monday Night Pottery. We've been meeting for about 10 years.
Nice.
Two of us have been together about that long. Some of the girls come and go, but there's two of us that have been there a long time together. And we challenge one another, and we are what we call advanced hand builders now. There's just,
oh, nice.
We try really hard things and support one another. So that's that. And the art gallery is, you know, I'm teaching there now. I teach
nice.
and I teach a beginner hand building class.
Awesome. Well, I adore my blue door house, and I actually shared my extra one with one of my dear friends, Vicki Councilman. I decided to give that to her. She loved it.
Good.
So I just think you're so talented.
Thank you.
And I think what you do is very highly underrated because it's very creative.
Yeah.
And I thank you so much for sharing that with our viewers. And when you get your Etsy store back up, they can find you there, or they can find you through email.
Yes.
So, Kim, I wondered if you could explain, maybe tip your camera back up a bit so we can see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
I wondered if you could explain that technique, that hand building technique.
Hand building, everybody knows the wheel, you know, you've seen Ghost, you know, and that takes a long time. It's years to master the wheel. Hand building is something that you can come in and there's different, you can coil, you can slab, or you can pinch. Like you take a piece of clay and you just, will you get me some clay, honey? Just cut some off of a block. There's a white block right back there on that flat table. And there's a wire somewhere close by on, turn around. You see that wire hanging there? Well, anyway, you take a piece of clay and you just pinch it around with your thumb. Or coil is just like a snake that you did with Play-Doh when you were a kid, and you made it round. You just keep coiling around. Or slab build, which is what the blue door house is. You have a slab roller and you just slab out a piece of clay, and you use a needle tool and you cut out the shapes. This was slab built. It's just a box, really. We also have an extruder, which is a box over here that I can extrude these tubes out of and put them together. Once they are secured, they dry to what we call leather hard.
Okay.
And once they get leather hard, we can carve on them. I have these trees are carved. These are some Christmas trees, and you can see they have cut. These are carved. You can carve them. You can add other things to them. You can slip cast them, a lot of different things. But they have to go into a bisque kiln, BISQUE. And my bisque kilns are from Scut, and a bisque fire for me is what we call a cone. That's how they measure the temperature it's going to. They're called cone temperatures. It goes to like 1800 degrees.
Okay.
Disc. Then you take it out and you apply the glaze. Then you put it back in and you do a cone 5 or a cone 6, whatever your glaze determines what cone you need to fire it at. And then that cone 6, cone 5, cone 6 goes to 2200 degrees. So it gets quite hot. It's very, very hot.
So the process between creating the piece and scoring it and then firing and then glazing and then firing again
Yes.
is multiple days.
Yes. Oh, it's weeks. It's weeks.
Mhm.
In the summertime, it's really cool because you can push it outside and it dries really quick. Now, this winter, it's a different story. It takes longer to dry. So we're talking on a typical blue door house, turnaround is 3 weeks.
Okay.
3 weeks on turnaround on that.
Some people
Wow.
don't realize, we go out shopping at boutiques or whatever,
Yeah.
and they don't realize what's behind, not just the creative part of it,
Right,
process.
right, right. You're exactly right. And the selection of glazes is just huge and sometimes you'll think, oh, these two glazes are going to work so pretty together. And then you open the kiln and you go, there's nothing but refire it. You put some more glaze on it and you refire it. That's what happened to these trees. They didn't turn out too cool. So I refired them. So sometimes I'm with a piece for a long time because I don't give up once I've got that much invested.
Mhm.
Can you show us that floral piece behind you close up?
Right here.
Yes.
This is a totally different technique. This is called a transfer. This plate started with what we call fresh clay. I just cut the plate out. And then I used newspaper print and I painted this poppy on there. Just like you would paint just normal. Then I put white slip. This is white slip all over the piece, all over it. And I laid my transfer down on it, face down, pretty side down. And I used a sponge and I wet the back of that newsprint. And then I gently pulled it up to make sure the transfer went. I can also use a rib tool, which is like a flat thing, like a credit card, just something to make sure. And as I pull it up, so after I got it on there, there may be a spot or two that didn't transfer. I can go back and touch it up. I went back and accentuated these with black. I also took a carving tool, you can see right here, and I went around the piece, accentuated it a little bit. I added these freckles. I just felt like it needed a little extra something. And this is a special glaze that can be applied to what we call green clay and fired. You still fire it as a bisque fire, or you can fire it as a glaze fire, either way, but you have to be really bone dry. It has to be, or it will not work. But
It's beautiful. And I assume you did the floral part freehand.
yes.
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 Yeah.
So I've been doing poppies. I also am a watercolor artist.
Okay.
So,
Me too.
are you?
Yes, and I taught pottery in high school.
Well, then you know.
Yes.
I thought you knew more about when you said scoring. I thought Janet knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. I also wondered if those little pieces up on the shelf are ghosts.
They are. That's my ghost town.
Okay.
Yes.
That's seasonal coming up.
Yes, and I've got a lot of pumpkins. A lot of pumpkins. Would you hand me one of those pumpkins right over there, please? The smallest one.
Well, the ghosts are cute.
There's one of the pumpkins that I've made, and
Oh, isn't that pretty?
I've got bigger, and then right here, you still can you see the little ghost now?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's so simple. You just put it on your thumb. Just it's white clay. It's called Little Loafers. My clay comes from distributor in Asheville, and you just put that down on your thumb. Give him a little cap right there. Use a little round ball tool. Poke his eyes in his mouth. And I just fired him once. I put some tolerant glaze in there and put him in there and fired him at a cone 6 on slow. And
Oh, it's cute.
there's a bunch of those at Wilkes Hardware. Angie loves these. We used an old Coca-Cola crate, with the single little boxes. Now, I also do totems. Do you know what a totem is, Janet?
Yes.
Can you see this totem here?
Yes.
There. And I have the 8-foot totems. I have ginormous outside. I can make totems. This is an egg plate, humongous egg plate. That's our name. That's our street. This is just some things, that if people are interested.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, look at the relief to it. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, this is my spring one. I do a winter one. I got snow people, here and snow hills. But this is a dark clay. It's called Standard 266, and it fires almost black. So then I use these really vibrant glazes, and it just really pops off.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So that can be special ordered. Blue door houses can be special ordered. I do totem poles special order. So
nice.
I love that challenge.
Well, Kim, I thank you so much for sharing your talent with us this morning. I know the viewers are going to be tickled to pieces. It was such a pleasure to meet you, and I'm so honored to have a piece of your pottery in my house.
Thank you.
And makes me think of you every time I see it. Angie said you have quite the story, so I thank you for sharing that with us on Cooking Cutting Up. I'm gonna go ahead, Janet.
I was just going to say, you mentioned Wilkes County Hardware. Is that the proper name of that store? So people who live in that area or travel to that area can see your pieces on display in that store, as well as contacting you. Could you repeat your email address that you shared earlier again?
Yes.
There we go. bluedoorstudio3@gmail.com.
Yes.
Well, you're certainly an inspiration.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I love the fact that you gather together with other people and create together, learn from each other.
Yes. I just got through battling stage 4 cancer. And this community that I was in pulled me through it and made pottery. I came out one day and they had made over 300 pieces of pottery and hung them in the trees around I had a little area of hammocks. I'd go out and lay in the hammocks and pray and meditate, and people would join me. We had a fire pit, and they had hung this pottery, these flat flowers and hearts and everywhere.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Angie is one of my students now.
Oh, great.
Yes. And then the woman who has the Russell Flower Farm is one of your friends as well.
Brittany and I are great friends. Yes.
She
We're collaborating on a wedding next weekend, as a matter of fact.
Oh, nice. Well, Kim, I thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon.
I hope to see you soon.
And thanks for joining us on this Zoom today. Janet, thank you for moderating.
You're welcome.
And I know the viewers will enjoy seeing this.
Yeah, such a pleasure for me to see your work.
Thank you.
And thanks for doing what you do.
You come with her next time she comes, okay?
All right.
Yeah. Have a good day, Kim.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.